your own. Ouija moves, dancing in the end zone. Crush groove. All we do is get done.
Oh, my bad.
That was good.
What's going on,
Yeah.
FNG? Oh. Let me get myself.
Jedi,
Wow.
We crowned a new champ, huh?
Was that fall of
That look familiar.
98?
That look familiar.
Let me
Take this off real quick.
a tiara?
You're right. That's a tiara. That's right.
Yeah, that's a tiara.
Only fitting thing. The queen approves.
No, this is the king of the north, south, east, and west.
Oh.
Whoa. Yo, them's fighting words.
No, the fight is over.
Right.
I love, man. I saw him marching along tied to a top of a horse.
Wait. Let me do the introduction real quick. What's going on, FNG? This is your boy Dylan Hall, aka the Browns owner, aka 5-time Super Bowl champ. On the show today, we got
season 3 champ. Season 3 champ.
Season 1 and season 2
Can he count to 5? That's a question. I'm going.
I got some choice words for you off screen. I got you. On the show today, we got Mr. Stephen Billups, the Jags owner. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. Woods in the house.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
All right. I'm at the beach right now. We didn't go to Orlando, to Disney World. We went to Wakanda.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's keep it going. We also got Mr. Tiger, the Giants owner, who got the first pick in the draft, maybe.
He's in Wakanda.
Second pick.
You got the second pick?
Yo.
Even worse. We got the 49ers owner, Mr. Tony Tranks. How you doing, sir?
Greetings, everyone.
Yes, sir. We got to talk about your tough loss to the Cardinals, man. That was a tough one.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely was.
And also we got.
Did we expect anything else, though?
Anyway, all right. Also on the show, we got Mr. Runner-Up, King of the North in his division. We got Mr. Isaiah, the Bears owner. How you doing, sir?
I'm getting better.
Yes, sir. All right, let me get my stuff off the screen real quick. All right, fellas, once again, thank y'all for joining us. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the playoffs. We're going to talk about draft picks, and we're also going to talk about the next season, season 4, power rankings. All right, anything else I missed?
Sounds good.
Are we good?
We got to talk about
preseason.
Oh, we talking about free agency.
Okay, I got to cover it. Hey, before we get too far in the free agency, is it preemptive to go to free agency just to think about this before we get to the other stuff?
It's a little early.
A little early. All right.
Because
I got a news article here, but I'll go back to that when we get to that. Let me know.
I appreciate it. All right, who will cover the playoffs for me? Because right now I'm on the beach and my kids are playing in the sand.
Oh, we can start this. We got the
Dolphins right now.
The first game. We're gonna just go by what they list here. The first game was a 27-0 LA Chargers over the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh,
shutout.
Now they were 1-1 in regular season.
Yeah, the Chargers have generally dominated the Chiefs each game. I know the one game that the Chiefs got over the Chargers. It was a 9 route to the
Hill.
receiver to Hill. With no time on the clock to take the lead. So, yeah, I mean it wasn't really a close matchup at all. I think it was 21-24 at halftime, something like that. And they just pretty much played nil second half. But
what's interesting about it is aside from the division they had to split and all that was that. We all know Matt. We all know Matt likes to talk. But this game, he actually talked and he backed up. And he backed up in a way, not because he won, but because of pretty much how he won. Because Bullock had some good success against him. But one of the key points when I looked through this game, I found was that defensively, the Chargers came away with 6 sacks. And each one of those sacks, I remember watching the game, seemed like they killed a drive. And when you go to the box score, you notice that he had held the Chiefs to 55 total offensive yards.
Mm-hmm.
So not only 0 points, 55 total offensive yards.
Wow.
That's 25 passing yards, 30 yards, and he only had one turnover. So what that means, he was stopping them without even taking the ball from him. So that's pretty definitive. That's not like, oh, I fumbled the ball, I threw the pick here, threw the pick there. This guy literally was just getting 3 and out, stopping them most of the time with sacks and punt, try to get back, and it just never happened. So
it was a shutout
game.
It was a shutout.
We've seen shutouts with 300 yards. You throw a pick in the end zone. That's different. 55 yards means you didn't do anything, right? I mean, that literally, and so not to pound on Bullock, but that was you gotta give props to Matt when it's deserved, and that's a pretty definitive defensive game right there.
Well, when you bench Victor Stone, that's what'll happen. The backup didn't do it, and he gave up 150 yards on 21 carries to Melvin Gordon. So he was just doing what he wanted to do all game long.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next game, it was the Seahawks against the Eagles, 23-10. Seahawks and Eagles. Once again, I think the Seahawks kind of controlled the game. I think turnovers. There was a +2 in the turnovers. They were balanced. They had 131 rushing, 148 passing. They had ended up jumping up early and had the Eagles essentially trying to throw the ball back, try to get back in the game, but they just weren't able to get over that defense. So
yeah, this was somewhat of a revenge game. A few weeks earlier in the season, the Eagles beat the Seahawks pretty handily. They held on only 9 points to take that game. So it was definitely a revenge game, and I think the fact that they sent each other so recently, it definitely helped the Seahawks make necessary adjustments in that game. I don't think that the Eagles adjusted fast enough. They had some good drives, but they returned over the ball 2 points towards that game to prevent themselves from being able to come back. So,
I remember we were discussing that it was potentially going to be a computer game, so we were happy it was Cleveland played at all.
Yeah,
sure. Big shout outs to the Eagles because they were actually in Miami and brought their system out on their vacation. Yeah. So we definitely appreciate that. And that just shows you a little of the sacrifices that a lot of guys make. Just keep the league moving and keep the games competitive.
Right. Sounds good. The next game was the defending champ owner of the Browns against the Miami Dolphins. I'm sorry. The Baltimore Ravens. 33.
Ravens. The former champs versus the Dolphins. The Ravens at the Dolphins.
Former owner. 33-7. Pretty dominant. I don't think there was much surprise there. I think people were happy that someone won the AFC East, and then the Ravens came in, and it looked like they just controlled them. The +3 on the turnovers, just pretty dominant from the jump. Didn't let them score after the first quarter. So
it was pretty competitive in the first half. Honestly, the Dolphins had a chance to tie the game up at 14. They ran the ball in the red zone with their quarterback, got hit, fumbled the ball on the 2 or 3 yard line. That pretty much ended the first half at 14-7, and then the Ravens just kind of did their thing, up in the lead, a couple field goals early in the third quarter, and then just kind of, consistently moved the ball to run the clock out. So definitely a big win. I don't think there was any surprises at all.
I was surprised. I got a surprise.
Were you surprised with the outcome? No. That the Dolphins scored a touchdown?
This dude took David Johnson from me in free agency last year, and he did not run the ball with a running back in this game. Mm-hmm. That's at least that we see. Or maybe the guy that was in there, maybe the guy was cut from his team.
It's possible. I think that yeah.
You guys are nicer.
He had 73 rush yards. And how many of them did Griffin had? Griffin had 21 of them. So yeah, he did run. I just they must have just cut that guy because his stats aren't on there.
You just want David Johnson back. Just go ahead and admit it. That's all.
Yeah, I wanted him back.
Yeah, but he did use David Johnson. I think David Johnson had over 1,300 yards during the season. 12 touchdowns. So he was a solid performer for the Dolphins, and I'm sure that's what helped him win the division. With 3 or 4 wins that season. Yeah. So. but no, he's a back-to-back division champion. So shout out to him for sure.
So You're not supposed to laugh at that. All right, so the next game.
That was funny. That was a little sliding right there.
So
Right, the way
he was all nice up until that point, and he thought I was being mean. So then
Wait, real quick. Wait. Before we go on, we got Mr. Joseyan in the building.
What's up,
sir.
fellas? What's up?
What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
Jose?
Commiss.
So, guy living in Denver wearing Raiders colors. So we have the what I would consider probably the most competitive of the first round games, which was the Cardinals playing the Falcons. That game was 24-17. I think it was a pretty balanced game. If I remember, I watched this game. I'm trying to remember the nuances. I think what it came down to was a red zone execution. If I remember, I think there was a couple turnovers in red zone.
He left about 9 points worth of field goals up there.
Right.
Yes.
Making a decision making. Where I believe it was like he went for in plays where he should kick field goal, and I think that we were watching together. Isaiah, you were saying like, why is he leaving so many points out there, and then end up coming back to bite him?
Yeah, he left a lot of points on the table.
So I thought he actually played well enough to win this game, but then, like you said, left the points on and ended up losing by a touchdown.
Yeah. Then he went for it on 4th down a few times instead of kicking field goal.
Right. Or punting.
Yeah.
While he had the momentum, which I think allowed the Cardinals to get back the momentum. And, Madden is fickle, so.
Yeah. Hindsight is easily 20/20. I think sometimes you try to play aggressive, you just don't make the right decisions at all times. So I think in retrospect, he probably would want to make some different decisions, but he was playing good defense, but those missed opportunities led to points for sure. Versus getting the Cardinals down and deep in their own territory, just continue to play good defense.
Hey, Billups, I think that's a perfect segue to the next round because we're talking about hindsight being 20/20, and in the very next round we're talking about the Ravens-Jaguars game, and going into that game, seeing how the Jaguars were so dominant through the season, beating the eventual champs, beating the former champs, beating the pants out of everybody in between.
Yeah.
That when they got into the playoffs, and this is just my opinion, you can tell me if I'm wrong, it just seemed like they decided that they were just like, well, I already did that. I was successful with that. Let me try this over here and see how I can be successful with that too. Not do what I got here with, but use some other method, because why not just try in the playoffs to do this other stuff? That's what I took from that. Now, I could be wrong.
You're a terrible owner, but you're a great analyst, man.
Thank you.
I agree, man. So,
well, I figured that.
Exactly what happened. I don't play a lot of exhibition games, and actually, before I played my game with the Ravens, I played 3 games in a row where I was just passing the ball around, 350 yards passing, 4 or 5 touchdowns each game. And I just got, for whatever reason, I was like, I'm going to carry that momentum over to the playoff game and decide to play totally different than what I played all season. And the Ravens, the previous champs, made me pay for it. I mean, I think I had 3 interceptions early with quarterback 1 and put another quarterback in, had another 3 interceptions. Just couldn't get out of my own way at the end of the day. And they handled their business. And then they blew me out in the 4th quarter with some more turnovers. So
I think it felt like you had a lot of time. You only had 4 turnovers. I think you just kept replaying those first 3 interceptions over and over and over. That's what happened.
It was bad. But yeah, I mean,
but you had a great. All jokes aside, you had a great season. I thought you outperformed what I personally thought you were going to do in the season. You did. You had some good wins. I thought you played great all season. I just thought you strategized. Well, I know all about that, strategizing poorly in the game, and I just thought that you would have been a little bit more successful if you had stuck with what got you there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you.
I definitely agree.
Steve, you had a game plan all season long, and it literally got you the number 1 seed. And you even beat season 1 champ and season 2 champ. Actually dominated them, really.
Yeah.
And then those exhibition games, why do you think they changed your game so much?
Because the guy I played was ranked 17 in Madden. And the first game I played him, it was a good game. He beat me, but I did a lot of great things against him. And he kind of coached me up the second game. And then I beat him the second game. The third game was a real good game. So I felt like I had something that nobody saw before coming from me. And I thought I can get up quick, passing the ball, and then kind of run the ball in the rest of the game and kind of dominate that way. And I just
you were
nothing worked.
You were up like 7-0, 10-0.
Yeah, it was
7.
Up 7, but it was off a turnover. I still played good. I was in the game, even going to the 3rd quarter, and I could have adjusted. I just kept telling myself, hey, I know I can do this because I just did it on the 17th ranked guy, right? And it just didn't get me it didn't mean anything at all. So, but like I said, Kate Crowder, spilled milk. He handled his business. I didn't, and he moved on to the next round, and I got to watch it on Twitch. So, hey, great job out of Raven.
Well, it saved you some, airline tickets. That's all it did. So the next game was the Seahawks playing the King of the North.
Why don't you tell us about that, Isaiah?
After I lost to the Cardinals in the regular season, I realized I was throwing the ball too much. Mm-hmm. So heading into the playoffs, I just went classic NFL mode. You go in the playoffs, you run the football, you play defense.
Yeah.
So it was Jordan Howard all the way. I don't even think I gave Cohen but a couple of touches. I just wanted to run the ball. I know he liked to be in the cover 3 and play a lot of zone, so we just wanted to put big formations out there and run it right at him all game long.
20 carries, 128 yards.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
That was the game plan, and we stuck to it. Forced, I don't remember how many turnovers we forced, but
yeah, he had four interceptions.
Pretty good, man.
Nah, you played a very solid game.
Goals and running the football, man.
Yeah.
And then when we had it, just took out the starters, rested, and got ready for the next one.
I do want to say this, Isaiah, man. Congratulations. You're real close going undefeated for the season.
Yeah.
But 15-1, man. You did an excellent job in the regular season, man. Great job.
Well, he's been trending that way anyway. When he was over at the Texans, he did well. What was your record over the Texans first season?
It's 15-1.
15-1, dominated the South.
Weather in the playoffs, something. Fast forward.
Some advancing weather.
Some advancing
that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, so we ended up playing Cam Newton instead of Baker Mayfield, and
right.
Probably would have lost anyway, but
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting to say the least. So moving on to the next game, we had the Chargers and Browns. And what makes this game interesting, because we all know the Browns won. Yeah, the Browns won. Yeah. But what makes this game interesting is that this game was talked about since the last preseason about how this game was going to turn out in the playoffs.
You so disrespectful, man. You don't have to be that disrespectful, Tiger, man.
I'm not even disrespectful yet. I'm telling you how I got there. This game was talked about from the last preseason because we heard Matt say he was going to come to your house to take your trophy. That's what he said. And then he thought the regular season was going to be enough lesson to come take your trophy. Now, he did his homework. The problem was when the game came around, he wasn't able to do what he was trying to do. That's all it was. He did a lot of homework. If you listen to what he did, it was actually pretty impressive how much he studied you and did it. He just wasn't able to execute like he had hoped for or planned for. And that just tells me he's coming. He's coming for your titles. But
no.
In this game, I ain't saying he's going to get there. I'm saying he's coming, right?
But he's been coming though, right? So season 2 and season 3.
I'm telling you right now, today, he is closer than he was at that playoff game, which is closer he was in the regular season. So I'm telling you.
What was the final score of that game?
It was 20 to 6.
20 to 6. And I'm gonna tell you guys a famous quote by Sir Michael Tyson. All right.
Everybody got a game plan.
Everybody got a game plan until they get punched in the mouth.
You're right, because the way the game turned out was pretty dominant. He actually only had 106 yards total, 63 rushing, 43 pass. I think he had -2 turnovers, but it didn't seem like the Browns can do anything they want. Once they got up, they just played smart football the rest of the game. And so I think he flexes dominion over the AFC during that game. Well, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, just watching that game, it really was. It was a dominant game by far by deal. So don't let me diminish that by any means. But the game was close, but it just never felt like.
It was never in jeopardy.
He never felt threatened. He never felt threatened. Yeah.
And he played he didn't play terrible defense, but he just never got over the hump. And I think it was a couple times where he might have forced a turnover and then turned the ball right back over, or had a good stop, but then he was 3 and out himself. So it just never got to that next level and kind of put a good drive together. I mean,
Yeah, I remember the one drive. I think I'm almost positive that the pick you threw was in like inside the 5 or something, and it was like I felt at the point if you'd have scored there, you'd have blew the game wide open. But because he got that, it kind of just kept the game tight, but didn't feel like he was ever threatening. And so I'm sure he was frustrated over that. He really
he's
playing at the level, but
he held the Chargers to 106 yards total offense, 63 rushes, and 63 yards rushing, and 43 passing. And it's like the three turnovers was 2 picks and a fumble. They just kept him in the game. That's all they really did. It just he did what he wanted to do. I think he was a high percentage on conversions, and just was driving down the field, score. Drive down the field, score.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like the only reason that the score was only 26, based on what I was saying. That's where I was going with it. I felt that the game would have been blown open, more obvious with the score had he not been throwing red zone turnovers.
Definitely,
that's what I was saying. So I thought it was a lot more dominant.
Credit. I mean, Dillard, I think, averaged 40 points this season in a game.
Did
he played respectable defense considering.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's just when you get to the playoffs, people turn it up another notch, and it's hard. It's like what may have worked during the regular season may not actually work in the playoffs. And
exactly.
Like, that's something that Dillard has shown consistently year after year. I think he
36.1
season
per game.
He had
that's
a season where he was. I think season 1 Dillard went undefeated, and then I think season 2, his games were a lot closer. He still was winning, but it was a lot of teams closed the gap, and he had a couple losses season 3. But I think teams get closer because Dillard also does a great job of twitching.
Nah, we done with talking about Dillard right now. We're gonna go to Cardinals 49ers.
That's why you always get a top 5 pick in every draft.
No, but all seriousness, like I think a lot of better teams in our FNG league. I mean, we have really like a good 17, 18 teams that are really, really competitive every single week.
Yep.
But Dillard, he adapts and he takes his game to that next level, and it's tough for all of us to be consistently at that level, and that's what we all striving to get there. So kudos to Dillard, but also kudos to FNG for real, because like I said, that's one thing I noticed when I first joined the league, and I've been in this about 9 seasons now, over 2 years, but it was extremely top heavy when I first joined. I mean, you could pretty much write down what the playoff seeds were going to be, and now you see a good 18. Right. And it's good upper tier of the league where it's like these are some really, really good games, and then even the teams that are towards the bottom are competing, and they're upsetting some really good teams as well, and that just makes our league better.
Yeah, you've seen the league get better in your time here. That makes sense. I have too.
Yep. Definitely shout outs to I think the Eagles gonna be an issue next season. Hopefully he gets Madden 20. Who else is the Ravens? Not the Ravens. The
Jets.
The
Jets, I believe, are going to make
I think we can get back to that when we do the forecast for next season. We still got to move
on. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So we have the 49ers, 49ers and Cardinals. Niners, you want to talk about what happened there on the third, not 1, not 2, not 3, but third time he took an L. Wait, hold on a second. How many losses do you have this season?
2.
No.
3.
Total.
Oh, you mean postseason and regular season?
Yeah. How many losses?
Basically, he's saying how many times you play the cards. Is basically what he's saying.
Thank you, Billups, because he wasn't understanding.
That's hard. You just the backwards talk. I don't know.
Was it backwards? It was pretty straightforward. How many losses have you had this season? How many times did you leave with less points than your opponent?
Yeah, bro. Only twice during the season.
And how many different teams was that too?
It was only one.
So that team is what team?
It was one of the teams that lost in the conference championship.
Okay.
I can't remember.
So that team, this time, that team had 34 points and you had 24 points this time.
Yes, sir.
So talk about that time that happened, because you might get confused. But this time you had 24 points and he had 34.
Yeah, that game pretty much went down to turnovers. I had some red zone turnovers. I had my first turnover was I was inside the 5 and I was running. It wasn't a dive. You okay there, Isaiah?
Allergies.
Okay. Yeah, I was inside the 5 with the MVP of the league. got to the 2, and he hit stick, fumble right on the 2. I was going ahead to score, and this is after I'd gone up like 17-7. You know what I mean? I was looking to potentially try to put the game away early. So that fumble killed me. Now, again, I did throw get a pick back from him after that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, later on the drive, it wasn't immediately. He drove a little bit, but I got a pick right after that. But not coming away with 3 points and potentially getting a pick on his next, turnaround drive would have made a little bit of a difference. And then another turnover. Literally, I want to say I was inside the 10, and I was passing this time, and it was a crossing pattern right around the 5-ish or so. And for some reason, Garoppolo threw it behind him. His guy picked it off, and this was like right near the end of the half. He picked it off, and he almost ran it back for a touchdown. But Marquise Goodwin was fast enough to catch the linebacker. And he ended up getting six points out of those 2 turnovers early. And once that momentum went away, because I didn't kick those 2, those 6 points went over here, and he got 6 points. Plus the ball after the half.
Yeah.
It made the next turnover that I threw. And these were turnovers to the computer, really. It wasn't even – he hit stick me with the run, but I can play the computer, like I said before, and beat the computer almost 100 points. But the fact that his computer player stepped up and made those picks were really, really big in that game. And,
I want to give him a lot of credit because he played defense, especially after he got the fumble on the 2, and I think he only got like 18 yards before you got to pick right back, and he played defense to a field goal. So he did a lot of good time. He played good defense. But the part that I get, and I actually called Tony about this and gave him a lot of grief over the phone. Some of the words I won't repeat on the line, but like what it was that. What he failed to say just now, and I was waiting to see if he said, is that almost all of his turnovers were in the red zone, and how he got down the red zone was a combination of running and passing. And yet, when he got to the red zone, he thought at that point, when everything got tight, was a good time to throw it to the other team. And so what happens is that this strategy of we see it a lot, where people get in the red zone and throw red zone picks on passes that shouldn't be picks. Or
Tiger. If you listen to what I just said earlier, I said I missed out on 6 points, and he got 6 points. So 6 points being 2 field goals on those 2 picks, the fumble and the interception.
Yeah.
So I had another pick, I think, in the 3rd and one in the 4th, which really wasn't, it was pressing when the game was kind of out of hand.
Right.
And by then, I want to say the 3rd quarter, I believe he had his run game together and was having a little more success.
He was really balanced throughout the game.
Well, that's what I was trying to say is Billis, because if you look at the stats and obviously I give credit to Dan because he knew what was coming. Jedi made adjustments, but I think the over adjustment, and I'll say over adjustment, is that when's the last time you see Jedi run for 24 yards? He wasn't running.
Yeah, I mean, Dan did a great job of I think just stopping it. I mean, he still ran the ball 14, 15 times, I think, in that game. Not a lot of yards, but he passed the ball and got down the field. The turnovers definitely hurt. But you had a player who's the MVP of our league who had probably 2,400, total yards, 25 touchdowns. Only get 25 yards in the game, which is, that definitely changed up a lot of stuff. In that
well,
game.
you see 14 carries, but at least 10 of those came in the red zone, right? And so they were not in the middle of the field. And so I remember watching this because I was barking about it. But the point was, I give Dan credit. He did a great job. It's hard to beat someone once who's at that elite level, but beat him 3 times in a season is really challenging.
And it's rare that I lose 3 times like that same person. So
not anymore.
Well, Dan said he's never lost to you. So he said,
well, that's actually not true. He hasn't lost to me since he took over the Cardinals. Okay. He's lost to me with the Chargers, but I have not beaten him yet since he took it over the Cardinals.
There's an emotional factor at play y'all didn't talk about. Dan is not here on his do not win list. He's not going to let you win. He fast forwarded. So
well, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Extra fight because of that.
He moved on.
Not to let you win.
He moved on to Chicago for the next game, but he did not re-sign Julio Jones, and he let David Johnson go last year. And I think last year, not having David Johnson hurt his game, and not having Julio is going to hurt his game this year. So I'm predicting.
Are you guaranteeing victory over Dan?
I'm glad. I like how Steven gets straight to the point. Are you guaranteeing the victory?
I'm guaranteeing he's going to do worse than he did last season.
No, against you?
What's that?
Against you.
I plan on winning both the games. What are you talking about? If you're asking me,
are you guaranteeing he is going to lose against you? That's the question.
I can't guarantee anything. All I can do is plan accordingly.
So all right. So and then we're gonna move on to the battle. We're gonna move on to the Battle of Ohio. Battle of Champions. Season 1 champ versus the Season 2 champ who claim ownership of the Season 1 team. Rubber match, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they split during the season. Why don't you tell us about that? Dill. Tell us about how great you are, so Bill doesn't have to.
Stop being a hater. I want you to stop that. You talking about when I played Reggie?
It was 27-3. I was really impressed at this. I thought you were going to struggle against him again, but you made some adjustments and you did well.
I didn't make no adjustments. So
you won.
Yeah, I won.
That's
I believe he made the wrong adjustments.
Yeah.
So his game plan was totally different than game 1 and game 2 of the season. I felt like he played a totally different game. It was like I was playing a different user.
Oh wow!
Right. So the first half, I had all the confidence. Like, I'm gonna win this game. And same kind of confidence I had even against Matt. Now I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I didn't worry about Matt. I didn't. But with Reggie, I was like, I didn't want to see Reggie or Jags Billups. I didn't want to see neither one of them. But I was very surprised at that game and how I had the control of it.
Well, Lamar Jackson, was he hurt? I believe he had zero stats.
No. He was available.
Because he had 0 stats in the game. So I thought maybe he was hurt. And that's
I know he was on the bench. I don't know whether or not he was hurt.
He said Flacco had better stats than Jackson. So that's why you started Flacco.
Well, Flacco threw 6 picks. So that's not a good stat. So I thought maybe Lamar was hurt. And that's why he got, because 6 picks, at some point after 3, you have to think Lamar wanted to play.
Yeah. But Reggie definitely turns it on in the playoffs. So I was very surprised at, like I said, our game and how I had the control of it. But
this is a backward. It's not relatively underhanded compliment. This is actually a compliment. Think about what we heard already. We heard 2 of the elite AFC teams going into the playoffs and changing what their game was that got them there. Ultimately, to show something different, which meant that both of them people who have beat you this season felt that they had to change something in order to be successful, and you didn't change anything. So that's a compliment, because that means that you're showing them stuff, whether it's a good strategy or not. You're showing them enough to where they're like, I'm not sure if I could do what I did that was successful again. Let me change up without you having to do anything going into the game, and that speaks volumes on the quality that they assume that you're going to bring to the game.
I appreciate it, Tiger. It's not like an interview right there, but all right. No, but actually, I was preparing for the game, and I was looking at different plays and stuff I could, implement and put in my playbook. And so I took some plays out and put some plays in. It didn't show in my playbook, so I'm like, "What's going on?" So I tried to put my plays I originally had in there, put them back in. It wouldn't let me. So I don't know what's going on with Madden, where there's certain plays you can't even put in your playbook to use during your game. Whether
I heard about that happening.
Yeah. So the plays I originally had in my playbook, I can't even put them back in there.
Well, now were they shotgun plays?
Yes.
You have to look at if you look at the Hail Mary formation, you'll probably find them.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that information. I don't know why, but I'll give you that help.
Okay.
Because you in the playbook, you'll be looking at shotgun, but when you go to the actual game time, they're actually stored under the Hail Mary formation. You'll have different formations, and there will be shotgun plays. That's where they're at, probably.
Wow. That's crazy. See.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
I don't know
why Madden did that.
I don't know why they did it, but I'm telling you, when you go in there, you'll be like, "Oh, there they are." No, I'm
not saying you're wrong. It's ridiculous the fact that they would do that. You know what I
mean?
Yeah. Why would you not put it the rest of the shot?
Hey, the Bug Whisperer can find that stuff for you. You just ask me. I'm gonna tell you everything.
I don't know if y'all know this play I use, but I use 2 halfbacks.
Yeah.
And I motion a wide receiver over, and one of my halfback does a wheel route. Right.
I know exactly that play.
So that play, it was another formation that I liked. The same formation, but it was a different name. And I put it in, but it didn't show my playbook. So I was like, I guess I can't have the same similar formation.
No, it's absolutely. She probably had the same thing in my playbook. You look at Hail Mary and you shift left or right, you'll see it. You'll be like, oh damn, that's where it's at.
But when I took it out, I put it back in. it won't let me. It's still not showing the playbook. So I'll look at that. I'll see if it's in the
Look for that, and then make sure you got to have at least 3 or 4 plays, especially if it's a default play that doesn't come out. If you take out, like for instance, that there's the Hail Mary where everyone streaks and one guy goes over, that has to be in everyone's playbook. If you take all the plays out of that playbook, then you can mess up your playbook. So make sure for those must-have static plays that Madden throws in, you have at least 3 or 4 plays in this playbook. That way you'll get screwed. It won't mess up with the algorithm. So there's a bug there, but you can't strip out all those plays and leave just that one because it'll break.
Right.
But,
yeah.
But the other formations, I'm pretty sure they're under the Hail Mary formation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, definitely. All right. What's next?
So the next game is the your brother played the King of the North.
King of the North.
I believe this was a revenge game. It was like 2 weeks later because I think that his undefeated season went down in Arizona, and I believe it was Arizona. Let's go back and check. Was that Arizona that he lost? Or was that in Chicago? I don't know if he went to Chicago.
Hey, I gotta say this though, Dan. For the first time, and I don't know if Dan ever done this, he looked past the Bears.
He damn sure did. I was about to say that.
He texted us in our little private chat and said, "Hey, the Super Bowl will be played at Dill's house."
Yeah, he did. And you know what made that funny? What made it even more funny is that because he had gone into Chicago, he beat the undefeated Bears, and then talked smack about it, and then said he was going to go past them.
Yes.
Like this guy wasn't going to make an adjustment.
Right.
You know what? Hubris.
So go ahead and speak on that, Isaiah. Go ahead and speak on y'all game, man.
Tell us how you dominated them.
Yeah. Great job.
And you know, Strength is taking notes, so speak loudly and slow.
Tell us, yes.
I'll tell you. I'll do, Stephen. Hey, put the camera on me. Put the camera on me. I want to make sure that America sees this. I felt like in the first game we played, my defense was just fine. So I really didn't make too many adjustments on defense. Again, it was the same as the Seahawks game.
Defense fine.
Didn't run the ball enough. So we put out the big formations and we pounded the rock, controlled the ball. I tried to make sure that I was switching around on defense so it couldn't just cue into me playing as a middle linebacker. So I played a lot of safety that game, actually. I had a couple of 4th down stops as a safety. It's like Dan was getting a little antsy as he went for it about 3 or 4 times.
Way more times than I expected. Yeah. That was a big deal.
Yeah, I think we put some comments in the chat when we were watching that game, and I think it might have been Tillman. Was like, wow, why did he go for it there? And I was like, man, he looked shook because like we were seeing stuff from Dan that we didn't see all season. And I think he just looked shook. Like it didn't look like I think he was ill prepared. Maybe he thought the game was already over. Like he was went for it on 4th down on his own side of the field early in the game. It was really strange. Like, and the game was only at that point like a 3 or 7 point game. It was just I think he smelled what the Bears was cooking because it was
we was cooking a whole lot of Jordan Howard. Because I think I only throw the ball like 4 or 5 times that game.
I mean, it wasn't like you had blistering numbers. It's just that I think they were effective numbers. You only had 91 yards passing. You only had like 75 yards rushing. Like, and 18 of that was from your quarterback. But I think defensively, you just shut them down.
Pick 6 in that game?
Yeah, that's right. He did have a pick 6.
Yeah, the pick 6.
Jack picked one off in the flats. We just tried to be everywhere, man. He tried to hurry up every now and again. It would just change the look. I would change the play call from zone to man, and at the last second we go right back to a man blitz right before he snapped it, and that worked a few times. So just trying to switch up the looks so he couldn't really get going.
Yeah, I think going back to Billup's comment about high level football, it definitely felt like an old traditional playoff game.
Yeah.
You kicked the field goal every time you were in scoring range because at a minute there, I even commented, I was like, wow, he's literally kicking a field goal for each score because I don't think your offense scored at all, did it?
No, I don't think we didn't get any touchdowns at all that game. No offensive touchdowns.
Offensive touchdown. You got the pick 6, yeah.
But he had 4 field goals, and I mean that stuff was enough to get the job.
Exactly.
So, especially when Arizona only had 6 points. So
yeah.
So I interpreted that after watching that game, I interpreted his comment that he was just going over to Dill's house to watch the Super Bowl.
That's what he meant to say.
That's what I thought he meant to say. So I mean, that was just my interpretation.
It was at that moment he knew he messed up.
Yeah,
Right.
Just had to make sure that the NFC's second best realized who the King of the North was.
Break it down, brother. Break it down.
Remember his face.
Well, we have to remember.
We only can see the top of your head though, man. So we might want to.
So we remember that face now because in a few minutes that face is going to be replaced with a wolf's head on top of a horse. Because we're down to the Super Bowl. And
Right.
That is where we had the Browns and the Bears. We had the King of the North going on at least in this Madden, 1-time defending, overall 4-time defending champion, I guess. And don't you tell us how that game went, guys?
That's the champ. That's the champ.
He's like, it's a little painful.
Tell us what happened.
I'm sorry, my kid just crashed her bike, so that's what I'm looking at right now.
Well, you were there, Isaiah. What happened?
Yeah, Isaiah, you go ahead.
Well, he set the tone. In the first drive, he was able to put it in the end zone. I think he had probably like a 40-yard gain on the first toss of the game.
Game of inches. Your guy was so close to picking that ball off.
Right. Well, we were cool with that. I was really hoping that we'd just hold him to a field goal. But I think he threw it in the back of the end zone and got a nice grab, kept 2 feet in on third down. And that really set the tone for the game because now I'm playing catch-up. If he just kicks a field goal, we're a little more comfortable in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second drive I drove down, maybe like a 13, 14 play drive. And he stopped my tight end screen pass, like right on the 1-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to dive, but he got me. Right as I tried to dive, so we had to kick a field goal. So 7-3 there. Pretty sure I held you on the next drive. And then you had to punt, and then I threw a pick like right out of the gates on that, which set up the field goal. I believe you went up 10-3. We're just constantly trying to play catch up because I know how explosive your offense can be. So I would get down there in the end zone, and I'm going like a few steps faster than normal. I think one time I double tapped A when I was snapping the football, and he just flicks it up. I'm like, come on, man.
So you call
plays like that.
You call that playoff pressure, right? That's fair to say.
Yeah, that was pressure.
Because Trubisky had 0. Yeah, I mean, he had 247 yards, but he had 0 touchdowns and 5 picks. And I think one of those came in garbage time. But I remember thinking it seemed like you were chasing. I think you described it. You feel like you were chasing. And I don't remember you being only a front runner when you play, so I was a little surprised by it. But I had to believe it was the Super Bowl pressure. Maybe that party week beforehand, the media day. I was trying to figure out what it was.
Was that your first? Was that your first Super Bowl appearance?
First Super Bowl, yeah.
All right.
And I was cool with that. It's actually went the way every single game goes. Every time I played Bill, no matter what, in the red zone, he's got the best red zone. See you later. Best red zone defense in the league. You might as well just settle for running in and kicking field goals if you can't get it on the ground because you put it in the air, he's going to take it. So every single game it goes like that. I've never beaten this guy. He won't let me win.
So what you're saying is that maybe Dill should have, patented the "give me that" phrase. Is that what you're saying?
No, see, don't do that. Don't do that. keep that with Matt. The hashtag give me that. So he got that.
Man, I still felt like I had a chance like the whole game. Yeah. We just kept on throwing interceptions in the red zone. And he stopped Jordan Howard on the big run, like right on the one also.
Yep.
Which led to I think the next play was the accidental pick. So,
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, just great defense in the red zone.
Yeah, and if you look at that too, Peppers, and I'm kind of salty now that he's not going to be on the Browns team next year. But we got Odell. But
you really salty about your roster, really?
Man.
Oh
no, Jabril's gone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he had like 2 or 3 picks. How many picks did he have in that game?
5 total.
He had 5?
Peppers had 2.
Oh, no.
Peppers had 2.
Okay.
Both their safeties had 2, I believe.
Yeah, we had a lot of picks, man. And our defense definitely won the playoffs for us. Like Tony said, we was averaging 36 points a game, and we didn't get close to that in the playoffs. But our defense was just flying across the field. So, definitely looking forward to this upcoming season.
So all jokes aside, let's congratulate Bill one more time for his championship for last season. Now the season's over.
Definitely.
We move on. Okay, so
hey Tony, man, where you get this guy, man?
So
let's move on, man.
So let's draft.
Let's go.
We're going to the draft. The draft is
we're in free agency right now.
No, free agency.
Draft. We're in free agency.
No. I thought you wanted the draft rankings. You don't want the draft rankings?
No.
Okay. All right. So free agency.
We need that one.
Well, let's go. Actually, I'd rather segue to the free agency because there's this news flash came across the wire just now, and I'll hold it up for you. It says like if I can read it and hold it up at the same time. It's like Brown owner accused of badgering free agents. New free agents respond by signing elsewhere. More to come. What's wrong with the Super Bowl champs culture? Owner quote out ship mentality. They're trying to figure that out. It's like that was the news article. So see that right? The Browns owner accused of badgering free agents. They signed elsewhere. You want to talk about that, champ? What happened? What's going on? Ownership mentality in over there.
It's only one player that signed elsewhere. And that was it John Ross?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I have a question, Dill. Hold on. One player. You only had one bid out. One player you were bidding for, or you didn't have bids elsewhere?
No, I did.
I actually heard this Ryan Ram said that he went to Cleveland for the meetings, and the owner said, "Get down on your knees." He said, "I'm not doing that. I'm going elsewhere." So he pull his money out.
No, wait. For one, it was a offensive lineman, wherever his name was,
Ryan Ramsey.
Right, he went to a losing team.
You know his name. You know his middle name. You know what house he wears. You know his favorite meal.
He wasn't going for championships. He was going for the money. So he went to go get that money.
191 million.
Yes, to push people around. Then John Ross, I actually gave him more money than what the Seahawks was offering him.
And what does that tell you? It's not about the money.
It's about the culture.
To John Ross's credit, he played at Washington University and probably wanted to go back home where he had some of his most success. So
where they respect him, and it wasn't about the ownership mentality.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. That's a good one right there. That's what we're gonna go with right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I let that pass. But anything else, man? That's messed up. Where did Julio Jones go?
To Jacksonville.
Yeah. Jacksonville. There's really only 2 people bidding on him: the Giants and the Jags, and the Jags kind of wanted it more.
And I really didn't want him. I just want him to have to pay for him. Just saying.
We also need to talk about too.
Well, see, you want to go over to the top people and who?
Yeah, go ahead, do that, and then we'll bring up the other stuff.
So Marshawn Lattimore. He was signed. The Jets, I'll tell you, I believe their new ownership, they made a big splash. I counted yesterday, Jedi, there were 6 first round top 100 free agent signings by the Jets.
I like to file tampering charges. Showed up. It was 10 o'clock. My offer was the only offer on the board, anywhere near accepted. There was no Jets offer there. How did that happen?
To my credit, I literally got on it at 9:59, loaded Madden up, and by the time Madden started, it was 10, and I clicked advance, and that's when it happened.
It was sharp. There's some seasons that it's 10:05, 10:90.
Right. Yeah.
10:15.
Yeah. It was sharp.
Exactly sharp.
Yeah. So I tell you. Well, look, I think you didn't refresh. You must not refresh. But Lattimore, he took 186 points. I don't know what you offered, but you didn't offer 186 points, or you offered more and he decided he wouldn't play with you. We saw that with
145 million with a $45 million bonus. That is ridiculous.
So either you didn't pay as much, or he decided he didn't want to play with you, like Ross decided he wanted to play in Cleveland. Same thing. So we have Julio Jones that went to the Jags. And that's a good pickup for them. I think that
Kamara.
That was good.
Kamara going to the Vikes.
Kamara went to the Vikings. I was going down now. Like Cameron Jordan went to
that shouldn't have happened either. Kamara should have been a Jet.
How
did he pull off of that?
The Jets actually offered a lot more money, and they turned that money down as well and went to the Vikings.
Well, remember, Madden. Remember, Madden does have something in there. Like if you have a running back who's ranked higher, and they look at last season's stats, they do say, okay, this guy's not going to be a number one. They have that logic in there, so it's not just whoever bet the most money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have a ownership culture, then they don't want to go there. So, like, you have Cameron Jordan.
Well, that could be a reason why John Ross didn't want to come to the Browns because I got so many wide receivers. See, I was using him for a decoy. That's speed. You can't teach speed like that.
It's true.
That's another good reason why he probably didn't come. I have 4 or 5.
Can we move on from that?
Yeah, I want to move on. Thank you. Cameron Jordan went to the Titans. He good money there. Carl Lawson went to the Dolphins, who also had a big splash. Dolphin owners looks like they're trying to beef up their squad through free agency, and the Colts had some good people.
They get 6 wins.
I think someone needs to tell the Colts owner to rename Doug Baldwin back to Doug Baldwin instead of Little Richie Winslow because it's confusing.
Please, God damn it, please.
Dude, please. This side note, please next season.
I think if you're going to leave somebody, you should make sure you reset their name.
You should only be able to change the name of rookies you draft.
Yes. It's so hard.
Let's put a vote out there for that.
It's not, no, that's not a vote worthy, man. That's just one of those. Hey,
just make it a rule.
Just make it a rule. That's it. That's not a vote. That's not really changing the game.
How about people just not do it? I mean, please, because it is annoying.
It is.
Well, I just don't want people to be like, it's not a rule. Anyway. So, like I said, the Colts picked up a couple people. They got Tony Jefferson. A.J. Green went to Miami. T.J. Watt went to the Titans. Adam Thielen signed with the King of the North. Maybe you can answer the question that Jedi had yesterday. He was like, what's this big love affair with Adam Thielen? Why don't you tell him why?
Especially when you got Kenny Stills and D.D. Westbrook.
I always like to have a good possession receiver at the number 1 spot.
Hold on, he's going to start?
Yeah, he will definitely be starting. Excellent route runner. He can just get open. Great hands.
Oh, wow.
We just need somebody over there. It's like my like Allen Robinson or a Marvin Jones. Guy who can play football.
All right, good. Hey, this is one of the most important pickups of the free agency was a punter, Sam Cock, who was signed by a team. He's 39 years old, but apparently he can still kick the ball without pulling his hamstring. He was signed by a Cleveland team.
The Browns.
Oh, yeah, that team. And then we had backup Ryan Tannehill was signed by the 49ers. The backup Garoppolo when he gets hurt. Or I'm sorry, if he gets hurt.
When he gets hurt. I'm not playing around.
Good pickup.
Yeah. Well, last year, Jacoby Brissett, because we didn't have any money in free agency. We had like maybe $6 million or so. We just were looking for a backup. But last year, I was trying to pick up Jacoby Brissett as just a backup, and the Seahawks ended up picking him up and starting him, and going all the way to the divisional round with him. So that worked out for him. But I just needed the backup because I'm expecting Garoppolo to go down. So I'm happy with that pickup.
So one of the things I liked about the free agency, at least the first day, was that it seemed like the teams who were at the bottom half of the squad had majority dominated the free agency, which seems to be realistic in real life. Like the teams that they need the most get the most. So that kind of worked out. I was happy to see that. I think it's going to be interesting. There was some talent out there before we get into this draft.
Well, we need more participation by the rest of the league in free agency. There's a lot of the teams, if you're not making noise in the playoffs, you should be picking up those best players because you have the most money. If you look at salaries, you can see how much money people have, and if you're not using them, it's a little disappointing seeing you out there not doing anything with your team.
It's definitely it's disheartening being 4 seasons in and you question some of the owner's strategy. Yeah. I understand you can build your team through the draft. If you choose to do that, that's great. That's cheap talent. But I see a lot of owners who are letting key talent go away from their team, creating a bunch of money that they can use in free agency, not using that money. Right. And then they're also not even available when it comes to the draft. So they're not really owning their team. And we definitely need more engagement from many of those owners from that standpoint.
I know where you're going with that one, Steve. You're
not going
to the Bengals.
No.
So it ain't just him.
No, he's dead right.
Let me tell you.
He's not calling. He's dead serious.
Not looking to call anyone out. I'm just real. Just because I look at a lot of free agents and it's like, man, why would you let that guy go? right?
Yeah,
So then what you end up doing, you let your key guys go, and then you get, even if you get a free agency, you end up looking for the same thing, or you
And you're not going
overpay
to
for
draft.
somebody.
You're not going to draft the guy you let go. That
Right.
type of person is not going to. Now, see, I'll give you a perfect example, right? Steve let D.D. Westbrook go, but he used that money for Julio Jones. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you were participating in free agency.
Yeah.
But I see guys from multiple teams in the league just letting guys go and not even participating. You're not going to draft anybody as good as these guys up here. It just ain't going to happen. And you got enough of money.
That's a perfect segue back, because I used the Eli money that he was holding captive, and when he cleaned that up, I took that money and I went to free agency, and I said, which lineman out here is worth being joining the Giant squad with all this money? And when I talked with the guy, the first thing he said to me is that I do not like the Cleveland Brown culture, and I would like to come to New York even if we're not going to win. And I said, come on over, I got a lot of money for you. So
I guess he didn't want one of these in, huh?
Well, he said he'd rather not have one of those and not sell his soul.
Stop doing that.
But like,
no, that's for one. Real quick side note: shout out to the guys that's watching. Tony Tillman, Reggie, Brandon, and somebody else watching. But shout out to y'all. I see y'all notes. Thank y'all for watching. Right now, draft picks don't even matter, because even if you get a stud in the draft, right? Tops, they're gonna be what, 80, 81 overall.
Right.
So right now, that's why spend that money in free agency, because we've only got one more season. After this is Madden 20. You know, if we're lucky. You know what I'm saying?
This is the last season. Season 4
right.
is the last season.
Right. It's only a couple of times y'all went 5 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Mostly it's always been 4.
Yep.
So right now, if you got that money, spend it. So these owners, and I seen it, like the Bengals, is it like $98 million?
92 million.
90, you know, that's come on, that's obviously an owner just, you know what? I'm done. You know, and there's some other owners doing the same thing, but if y'all not invested, just say something.
Yeah. Again, I didn't want to call out one owner at all, because it's not just one owner. I think if it was one owner, it's easier for us to address it as a league. But it's a lot of owners that are just not engaged in the full process. And I think playing the games is definitely part of the process. But this free agency, your draft picks, I mean, that's just as important. I mean, there's owners. If you look at some of the owners, I mean, some of the owners don't have any cap room. Some of them are already over the cap, so have some key cuts for some big stars as well, just to be able to play their game. So, you know, just want everyone. I mean, it's a great league, and we always try to communicate with each other, try to help each other get better. But it's just, you know, we need all 32 owners to make it as great.
Hey, Steve. So I got a question, because this is not playing devil's advocate, but I haven't really done the cross reference or research. Are all the owners that aren't being active actually owners, or are they just coaches? Or everyone had to be owner? I can't remember.
I use owner as in same difference.
No, I mean, I'm saying that because I think the people who are not actually owners for their team can't do that, right? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, you can control who gets cut from your team.
Yeah, you still control all aspects of your game.
Coach and owner, you can do both.
Yep. Okay, well then I wasn't remembering.
When I say owner, I'm referring to any player, whether they're a coach or not.
Yeah, I guess that'll come back up when we ever the analysis
I think the
season happens for how many sims that people took and all that stuff that reevaluates, because a lot of that may all come out in the wash. I'm assuming if we follow through with there,
but Bill made a great point. Like, we're going into our last season. And,
the Saints have 109 million.
Yeah,
in cap space.
Yeah, with that Latimer gore, that opened up a lot of space.
Yeah, there's literally no benefit for carrying cap room going into this year. I mean, it doesn't do you any good at all. So get who you want. You know, build your team. You know.
Yeah, I think season 4 though, a lot of times we tend to have a lot of players drop off. This is the season where players stop playing. They either are burnt out, or they get busy because summer comes. You know, and so they drop off. And usually season 4 is when we have a lot of guys that aren't going to play. And that's the complaints where the AP goes as well.
Not calling anyone out, but both of the teams y'all mentioned did not sign anyone the first day of free agency.
Correct.
Well, here's the thing. One thing that people got to realize, I mean, Hosseon's had a very, very, very busy offseason, and it hasn't been Madden. But we were in the beginnings of discussions of looking to who had to be placed on AP, who, you know, was participating during the season. We have to review, you know, we say annual review. We have to review who's who in the league, and not just the people that won, people that didn't win. Like, I'll give you an example. The Bucks, I don't remember where they ranked, where the draft pick is, but they are still active as if they got a playoff chance tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Steven's talking about.
Yeah.
He wants you just to give a damn. That's all. Give a damn, run the team. We don't care if you the Steelers are another team. They are actively participating. I know he likes TJ Watt, so that's why he was going back, going for him. But I mean, just participate, play it, run the team, because there are other people who would love to be in that spot. There are Steelers fans, there are Bucks fans who can't use them because you're on top of them. Just put your foot in the water, act like you're trying to get it wet. Just do something.
Yeah.
Sit there and do nothing. It's a bit, as a commissioner, it's frustrating to watch.
Yeah, and I can tell you, like, I know, like, this league is, word of mouth was probably our biggest sale. We got, a third of the league right now. I think it's in Cincinnati, and a lot of that's because of the Hall brothers. But I can tell you, the way this league is run, I can find 5 other owners that play Madden that would love to jump into this and be part of this. That's something like, and that's not to take it away. Like, it wouldn't be hard if you really wanted to, take guys down, bring other guys in. That's gonna really be serious about that. And I think we have a lot of great owners. So I'm not advocating for anybody leaving or anything like that. But it's let's just stay engaged. And if you're not engaged, you take a season off. Just speak up and say so. No surprises. I'm sure if someone's going away for the summer, is going to be away, you communicate to our commissioners, and if they, you step away, maybe bring somebody else in temporarily, and then we never know what may happen the next season.
Well, so, Steve, on that,
we have one scenario like that.
Yeah, on that, we actually do have a team that is open right now. And here's the thing. Anybody that does leave for whatever reason, if an opening comes up and we know you're an owner with good references because we've seen you in the league, the minute somebody starts acting like a jerk, go on and you're right in there. So it's really just about giving a damn and participating. And again, to tell everybody who ends up watching this and you want to join the league, we currently have one team open going into season 4. And we're not sure who's going to fill that currently. But going into Madden 2020, I expect that spot to be filled. So if you're trying to get in, contact one of the guys on this panel. My Xbox Live name is Philly Jedi. And you pretty much can contact me, and I'll put you in contact with the people who are going to put you through our normal joining process to the FNG Football League for Madden.
Trey, go ahead and spell that out for
yes.
Maybe watching.
Philly, PHILLY, space, no underscore, space, and then Jedi, JEDI. So if you want to join the league, we'll put you through a couple different things, and then when you get in, just act like you give a damn, act like your team is the most important team, and then if your favorite team opens up, if you let us know early enough, we can get you in there. But in the interim, get in. Love your team like it's your team. Doesn't matter what team it is. We got a guy playing with the Lions. Literally, he is a Raiders fan. But he's playing with the Lions. Yeah, he's playing that team like he loves that team. You know what I mean? That's what we want. So,
I think I've been getting the hint. I'm like, it's all these Raider fans coming in. What's going on?
Tillman just said it best. Engage or disengage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get we got stuff. It's different. It's 2 different kind of scenarios. You got one, we got life. Life happens. As long as you communicate that, you ain't got to tell us your business. Just communicate. Hey, I got some stuff going on. This is the reason why I can't play. I can understand that. But just to, not to be around at all and just put yourself on AP because either your team suck or, you're just not feeling it no more. Free that team. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to play at all, I'd rather play a computer and not even worry about, somebody not putting themselves on AP. Then you just holding the team hostage. So, I'm not calling nobody out either. I'm just really stating the obvious. There's a certain.
Well, Dill, we have to. Hossein and I are going to be reviewing that, and if we have to make some changes. We'll make some changes. I just, I haven't had the time to really talk to him yet, so we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Is it too early to speak to which team is open in the league, Tranks?
The Bills. The Bills right now are open. Okay. I don't know if anyone in the league wants to move over to the Bills for next Madden. Okay. I don't know if any Bills fans are in the league currently, but right now the only team that's not being run currently for season 4 is the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, but I think you guys addressed that. I think once you guys, you guys being the commissioners, circle on those AP and any other activity and assessments you guys do, then we'll be able to revisit this without beating the horse any further dead.
No, we're going to be taking action. We're not even going to, we're going to be taking action. So,
right, so that's good. What else was on our list? We had the free agency, and now I guess we moving over to the draft order.
Yeah, that's next. What is a draft order, Tiger?
I can give you a draft order. I should know pretty well.
I appreciate you, Tiger, doing that, dude. Appreciate it.
And contrary,
it's real nice on the beach right now. That's why I don't have my Xbox.
That's good.
Well, you got your pick is higher than mine this draft, right?
Is that beach? I thought you were analyzing future workers.
That's why he went to Wakanda. And you the Browns owner? Oh, okay.
That's why my cigar did well. Okay, I got you now. So contrary to popular belief, I do not have the first pick. And it's not because I ain't traded. There was a team that did worse than me.
What?
Okay, it was a computer-led team, by the way, so don't get
Hey, wait. Side note, real quick before you continue. Just reading some comments. Shout out to Joe, who's also watching. Joe said, "Get rid of the owners and bring in some more Ohio guys." Brandon said he said it best. So shout out to you, Joe. He's silly.
Yeah, he's silly.
Oh man, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we had the Saints with the first pick.
1-15.
1-15. Oh, I got to talk about the records too.
I'm just saying.
So the
He
Giants.
He didn't win that game either. I think somebody lost against him.
I think it was both teams were on AP, and the computer won that game for them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Giants come in at the second pick at 2-14. They have whatever criteria made them a better pick than the Texans. Who
That
also
owner actually played his games, and yeah.
So hey, that owner tried real hard. and you know what? I'll be honest, like I talk a lot of smack. This season did not go as well as I hoped it would go.
Oh yeah.
And
it was documented.
And there was at least 4 games where it was I literally threw the game away at the end of the game. But I think that, and we'll see next season, I think that the lessons I learned this season playing all the top talent. There's nobody in the top half that I don't think I played this last season or two. And
winning the division will get you that.
Right. No, I'm saying no. I'm saying in general, I think that the lessons were learned to improve. Hopefully I'll be able to realize them either in next season or certainly by Madden, the next Madden. So you only get that unless you play. You could be 15-0 playing computer. You're not gonna get that. You can go 0-15 and get that from playing people. So to me, there was value add, even though I took a lot of L's, a whole lot of L's.
So go ahead and speak to who were the 2 owners of 2 teams you did beat this year?
I believe it was No, they're both Bengals and Dragon. So it's Steelers and Bengals.
Okay.
Player.
Steven,
yeah,
our prediction was correct.
Okay.
I said I don't only see 3 wins, and one of them I think was going to be the potentially the Cowboys splitting with the Cowboys.
Right.
Yeah.
So and he said he gave you 5 games.
No, you guys actually did better. Now, bottom line is I got 2 wins. That's all we gotta say about that. I got 2 wins. But I learned a lot more than 2 wins worth of education.
Oh.
I just tell you, like you're in New York already, and the Buffalo team is open. They're also blue and red. I think you can be very, very competitive in that NFC East, man. Two wins is only a game out of playoffs.
Hey, well then you you're right. That might be a good idea. Then I think we should send that other New York Giant fan, Joe Williams, talking about abandoning teams. We send him to the AFC East because apparently, even with a good head start, he can't finish out what he has to do over there. So, and he's a New York Giant.
He was a game away from making the playoffs.
He was.
You know what a game away from making the playoffs is, and being the second pick. A terrible pick away. That's what that is. So everybody don't make the playoffs. They either do it well or you don't do it well. I was like the second best person to make the playoffs. If you're talking about the people that make the playoffs, I got the second pick.
I'm just glad you got the higher pick than me this time because you were saying I was going to have the higher pick.
Yo, there was a point in the season when I looked at your record to see how many losses I would have to get to make that true, and then I was like, okay, it's not worth it. But I thought about that at some point.
Yeah, I think once
So-
he hit 4 wins, it was like mathematically impossible for you to catch him, man.
That's what I thought. I was like, all right, I'm gonna let it go.
Saints, then Giants.
And then
2-14
Texans were also
Texans.
2-14, but they've ranked, I guess, pick after me for some criteria. Then we had the Buccaneers, Lions, and Jets in order with 3-13. Then we had the Patriots, Bengals, and Bills at 4-12. And then the Colts at 4-11-1. And then the Cowboys at 5-11. Then we had the Packers, the Broncos, the Raiders, Steelers, and Dolphins, who won the division at 6-10. And then the Redskins were a 500 team. And then after that, we had the above 500. We had 9-6 Titans. We had the
9-6-1.
Oh, 9-6-1. Apologies there.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 teams at 10-6, which were both the Panthers and Rams. Neither made the playoffs. And we had the Vikings, 11-5 team that did not make the playoffs, which is obscene.
Yeah.
And then we had the Chiefs, 11-5 with the Falcons. Both of those are in the playoffs. We had the Seahawks and Ravens, who were both 12-4, obviously playoffs. Chargers and Eagles and the Cardinals were 13-3. We had the Browns and the Niners, who were 14-2, as well as the Jaguars, who were, I believe, were the number 1 AFC team with 14-2, and then the Bears came in at 15-1, the last pick, or at least that's the rank. How's the pick? Let's go check out the pick.
Would the Dolphins still have a high pick even though they made the playoffs?
No, they'll drop.
They'll be number 20.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say they're gonna.
So that was the ranking. The
He
picks
gave,
are a little
he
bit more
gave,
challenging.
he gave the reverse order
Gotcha.
Of the rank.
of the rankings more so than the draft order. Just
Gotcha.
right
Right.
away.
Okay.
It's a little more challenging to find on the fly the draft order exact because you have to go to each team and look at their.
Good job, man.
Yeah, but that's cool. But that's a good rundown.
It's going to be pretty accurate. The only exceptions would be because like the Dolphins
Playoff
made,
teams.
yeah, because they came in at that rank, but they'll be ranked. They'll get pushed out of the top, whatever 8. That is 8. Yeah. So.
Yep. Good deal.
So that's what we got going on there, and for what I mean, it's possible we really sped through the season, which is good. I want to commend people for how fast they got game. Everyone wanted to play football because it's getting in. I don't know if that's going to mean we're going to get another season out of it, but we should certainly have no problem getting the season done.
I think it's like Steve was saying, man. If you got people playing, that these games go by quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
So
don't have
multiple advances during the week help.
Yeah, I mean, we had 3 weeks in a row. I think it was like weeks like 3 through like 6 where we got 3 games in
right.
each week. I mean, we had multiple advancements. So I was really encouraged for a while. I know things happen, vacation, and people can't schedule the games, but I mean to get 6 games in 3 weeks, or actually it was more than that. I think it was like 9 games in 3 weeks. I mean that's half the season right there. So I mean,
And I applaud those guys that took get their consoles with them to make some of those games happen too.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiger, didn't you take it to Italy?
I actually bought a console in Italy. I get no credit.
Oh.
Thanks, Hosian.
Wow.
I have a console waiting in my in-laws in Italy to play just so I don't have to lose a Hosian during the preseason.
Shout out to you.
No, I knew
Still got the second pick
go to
overall.
Italy, so that's always the pick. So. And
Yeah.
Dylan did too. He got snowed in that one time.
Yeah. I went to New York for a ski trip, and we got snowed in. 24 inches of snow up in New York, Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
And but it was wonderful for me, man. I was on Madden all day. You said what?
Cause ski your ass home.
So I applaud you guys for doing that. Those guys that are engaged and committed and willing to do whatever to make the games get the games in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Big ups.
Yes,
We got a whole
Yes, sir.
example of it right here. Just the people that are on this show are the reason why there's so much energy in the Funny Games League. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys make
win
it
or
free
lose,
to play.
win or lose. Yes, sir, definitely.
And Dill, we actually do really, really appreciate all the hard work you do in engineering and producing the show because this makes us even play harder. So you're helping making us play harder. So it's
appreciate you.
It's a win-win-win for everybody. Keep up the good work. Dill.
these guys are cool to get
It's
their
much
names
more
in.
repressive than anything you do with sticks. I'm just saying.
I actually agree with that.
But I think we should open up another team because I think Tiger's a better analyst than he is coach or owner, man. That's probably what it's called is that, man. So He could be the
Seriously,
official
man.
voice of FNG and give up his ownership.
Yeah.
Hey, and do a video, and I'll tag it to this just like I did my interview.
Look,
So it just don't have to be the podcast show. It can
hey,
be
come on
whatever
now.
you
Let's
wanna
be
put
real.
in it.
If we're talking about giving up ownerships, Dill's the closest thing to Sterling we have, based on the comments I've heard from this free agency. So,
Man.
Hey, Tony, I don't like your boy.
Hey, whatever happened to that Chaz talk there, Dilla? Do you ever heard anything from that?
You know what? I talked to Bullock.
Uh-huh.
I played Bullock yesterday. We played a couple of games, and he said he's seen Chaz on a couple of times playing, so he has the game. But he said that was about it. He just played random games. So
I've been down that street, and can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Good.
I've been down the street sending messages, and I think life is just keeping him from playing.
What is Tiger doing?
he on punishment. I muted his butt.
Guy.
Did we hit everything, Dill?
Hey, Tiger, unmute yourself. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jedi.
No,
did we hit everything?
Yeah, we hit. Well, let me see. We talked about. No, we didn't do power rankings.
Okay, well, you
For
must
the
have
next
it.
season.
That should be pretty easy.
And while you pull that up, once again, shout out to everybody that's watching. Definitely shout out to Tony Tillman. So Tony Tillman, a couple of posts. I forgot which one, but he just put on here on live.
Oh yeah.
He's naming the trophy now.
Yes.
You want to talk about it, Tranks?
Yes.
Man, dude, I'm gonna do my best to hold it together.
Yeah.
But, we had a member who was the Seattle Seahawks for years. He is an OG like Thomas Lanning, who's the Cowboys owner. Is an OG. He's been here for years, and he's one of those owners where I would say he's middle of the road, middle of the pack, and just would occasionally beat me. You know what I mean? And and those were the losses that I hate the most, obviously, because I don't like losing. And he passed away. And Tony Tillman said that he would name the trophies that he's making. Still, when you get a chance, put the trophy up there. The trophies that he's creating, we're calling it the Dave Stacy Trophy. Like the Lombardi Trophy for the real NFL trophy. This would be the Stacy Trophy, the Dave Stacy Trophy. So that's big, and I'm really, really, really pleased that you did that. And
that's a great idea.
Definitely motivated me, Tillman, because he was a real great guy.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's touching. I think it was smart. I'm glad he thought of it. I hadn't thought of it. I'm sure Bat, who I think was one of Dave's closest friends, really appreciates it a lot. I'm sure, and so
do I. He was in the NFC West for years. Real years, a bunch of Maddens. So,
yeah.
He's a big loss.
Big ups to Tillman for not just the work he does in creating those trophies and giving everybody timely, but that was definitely a great way to recognize one of our members. So big ups to Tillman.
Right, I think we as the league need to give back a little bit to Tillman on what he does with the trophies. One, however, we will maybe gift him something, and then secondly, we just need to make sure he doesn't have to keep sending it to the Cleveland house or Cincinnati house that he sends it to. So we'll make sure we don't do that as well. So we got to do something to make that. Cause that's got to be painful. That's got to be painful to have to keep writing that address on there. So.
Well, at least we're saying Cincinnati, somewhere in Cincinnati, right now.
As long as it's not that residence, you know what I'm saying? That's fine.
No, definitely, I'm honored, man, to be the first one to receive that one. Or we could say all these are, Dave Stacy's trophies. Shout out to him. I know in another league we were in, they also, I think for at least the first season, nobody had that team, so in honor of him. So that's how they show love to Dave. So, yeah, man, it's bigger than Madden. This is I consider y'all family, man, even though we can't see each other physically. But technology came a long way, so we could do stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm saying. No, definitely, man. I appreciate you, Tillman, for doing that, and I appreciate this league, man. This is my get out to reality, life, work, the stress, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
especially with the new job. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I appreciate it. You're welcome, Tillman. You're welcome, dude. All right.
Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
So you guys want to hit up a top 10?
Yeah, top 10
for next season. Well, I mean, it's
we know
only
it to be the Giants.
and it's only fair if we look at the top 10 now and see if anyone's going to repeat. So I think that, being that I was the lowest, I should have the best view of the top. I'm not so blinded by being at the top.
You might be too far away, man.
You might have a point.
Yeah, that's why I'm scrimmaging with you, Billups, to keep reminding you I'm not that far away. You keep
Well, obviously, number one is the champ, the Browns. Number two, the guy that he beat, obviously, King of the North. Number two. The question is, who's 3 and 4? The guys they beat, right?
Well, I have to believe that number 3 right now, until we see otherwise, is going to be the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, yeah.
Yeah.
If we
Cardinals over the Ravens?
Well, I think universally we agree that the NFC West is the best division, and the person who keeps beating the best person in that division must be better than anyone else in that division. So,
say again.
So,
the person that keeps beating the best person?
Yeah, you win the division. He beats you. So, therefore, he's better than you.
Oh, okay.
So, winning division, okay, Seahawks split with him, okay. But he beats the division champ every time he plays him.
Yeah, I'll not necessarily use his rationale, but I would go Cardinals 3,
Ravens 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Cardinals 3, Ravens
What
4.
rationale you going to use, Stephen Billups?
Just to keep it moving. We'll keep it moving, man.
Come out.
Way to go, Billups. Way to go.
I would see now. I'm different. I will put the 49ers above the Ravens.
Yeah, you might be right there.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably put the Niners. I mean, I think the Niners and Cardinals are next to each other. I don't care what order, 3, 4. So I put them.
The Ravens have a sort of.
Here you go. He's got to be humble.
The Ravens have a Super Bowl championship. How are we going to rank me above?
Because we didn't.
It don't matter.
We're not ranking last season. We're not ranking
right.
last.
We're not ranking
ranking
last
next
season.
season.
Right.
It's predictions. It's a prediction. I'm a predict. He
No,
don't like.
it's a ranking.
Yeah, a prediction
No.
ranking. Yeah.
But isn't the rankings based on what you did the previous year? Because otherwise, then why are we going to say that?
Yeah.
I mean, we just use Dan.
All right. Let's just move along.
He just don't like being in the target because he don't like if he's up top, he has to fall if he loses. Okay, so. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I agree with that, Bill and Dill.
So
I would
Cardinals
say
3,
Brown,
4,
Bears,
4.
Brown, Bears, Cardinals, Niners, Ravens, and then I'm gonna go Chargers after that.
I disagree.
Who do you think next?
I'm getting the Jags up there.
Yes.
The number 1 seed.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll put the Jags before the Chargers.
Wait, so how you gonna put the Jags before the Chargers, but not before the Ravens, and the Ravens not before the Jags? I guess they are, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ravens up there.
All right. So you think Ravens 5, Jags 6, Chargers 7?
Ravens 5? Yeah, I guess they beat them. Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you put the Chargers. You know he gonna get on there and say he ain't giving them love.
I need to be number 1.
But you know what? That's exactly where you fell in. So if you pull them right in there, okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
Shout out to Matt. Shout out to you, brother.
5. So we have Ravens at 5. We have the Jags at 6 and the Chargers at 7.
Right.
Where the Eagles at?
I put the Eagles right there after that.
I don't know.
All right, now.
Unless you want Fedora in there.
Seahawks?
Oh, we forgot about the Seahawks.
I didn't forget about the Seahawks. I'm just saying
they beat them in the playoffs.
Right, and
I put the Seahawks over the
Seahawks.
Eagles.
Seahawks.
Because he beat them most recently. That makes sense. Okay.
They beat them in the playoff loss or win is big. That's just big.
Okay, 8. So what's that? That'd be 5.
But the Seahawks lost to the Eagles in the regular season, did he?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. That's why. So we say 5 Ravens, 6 Jags, 7 Chargers, 8 Seahawks, 9 Eagles. Who's rounding out the top 10?
Falcons.
You think Falcons over Tillman?
Yeah.
Or a reach. Yeah,
that's what I said.
What about the Jets?
How about the Chiefs?
No.
I'm not gonna give somebody that hasn't been in the league.
No.
How about the
I think there's a reach.
How about the Chiefs?
But the Jets gonna make some noise. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now.
How about the Chiefs?
I wouldn't do the Chiefs. I think it will be between the Falcons, Vikings, and Titans.
You still got the Rams too. Did they not do anything?
Oh, the Rams, but he didn't make the playoffs.
Even any of those three teams, Falcons made the playoffs out of that three teams you
Falcons
mentioned.
made it, but that's where I will put those, and the Rams. No disrespect.
So you say
to
the
me, it's
Falcons?
between the Falcons or the Titans.
What about the Vikings?
They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were 11-5, but they didn't make the playoffs.
That's crazy.
Titans didn't make the playoffs either.
I know.
So then it has to be Falcons.
I believe it's between the Falcons.
People, man. You had 18 people. Who are the top 10?
All right. So there we go. I guess we'll say it says all the
Falcons.
They made the playoffs. Falcons number 10.
Falcons it is.
There we go.
So we have Browns, Bears,
Cards,
Niners, Ravens, Jags, Chargers, Seahawks,
Eagles,
Falcons.
That's top 10. That's a good top 10. I'm happy with that.
All right, and
I think there's only gonna be one person who's not happy about that.
What?
Hey man,
Give me that.
Games in.
The great thing about it is that the Browns, the Chargers, and the Jags got to play each other, right? All being one seed, so it's gonna make the noise there. The Ravens got to play the Browns twice, so they'll make the noise there. Bears gonna have to play the 49ers.
Yep.
49ers gonna play the Cardinals. I mean, so at the end of the day,
it will have potentially some adjustments.
Potato, but we're gonna have to, prove you in those spots one way or another. So
we earned it. We earned those spots this year. Yeah. Next year, do better.
Yep.
Nice. All right, who's gonna win it all?
Well, you already said you go in there, so I'm gonna see if you.
Wait, no, don't look at that interview. That was a joke.
Oh, that interview was. I was like, man, he said I'm winning it, no doubt. Yeah. No matter who I play.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna guarantee.
We have number 9.
I'm gonna guarantee victory out of somebody for Cincinnati.
Eagles.
Cincinnati.
Browns, Bears, Cards, 49ers, Ravens,
Jags.
I always forgot the Jags. My bad.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see those two new teams we got, the Colts and the Jets.
Jets will make noise. The Jets will be a 10-win team for sure.
Well, then that division is his. Then, if considering the last two seasons, we've had the 6-win team take that division. So we'll see. That'll be interesting to see if he comes in, the newcomer, and just
he'll make noise. For sure. I don't know what division they're playing, but he's going to win double-digit games. All
right, so let's do the next thing. Let's do the next thing. We'll make it real easy, real quick. Let's say let's do our predictions on division winners.
Well, they just said the Jets, and that's in the AFC.
AFC East. Okay, Jets.
Do we think the division winners are going to change any different than they already were?
Yes.
Yours,
I do.
Man.
Remember, schedules are all going to be different because everyone's going to have championship schedules and all that stuff, right? So I think you said Jets in the East. Who we have? I
don't think it's going to change.
Okay, who do we have? AFC West. Well, Dolphins just won the AFC East, so Jets change. That's a change.
Well, the Jets. I said the Jets were going to be an up and coming team. So.
That makes it a change.
Other than that, jabroni.
Just wait real quick. Dolphin said he's going back to back in his division.
This season, though.
All right, so we think. Hold on, we think the Chargers going to win the West. You said the Chargers going to win.
Yes.
All right.
Man, come on, Hoseyan, man, come on.
I gotta get playing time, man. You just don't know.
Stop being the dad and play Madden.
All right. Hey, Isaiah, the King of the North going to win in the North?
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. He said guaranteed. Okay, then we have the South. Falcons and Panthers is 1 game difference. Who are we picking?
Falcons.
The Falcons.
I think if Joe can show some consistency, I think he may be able to take it. But I think everybody's right. It's going to be the Falcons.
All right, we're picking the Eagles in the East. Is that what y'all saying?
Yeah, because you ain't going to do nothing.
Hey, I earned that. I earned that. How about in the West? Niners won by 1 game over the team that beat them twice.
Right.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Ooh,
who else? I swept the entire division other than the Cardinals. I beat the bricks off the Eagles.
And you had an easier schedule than you will this season. So I'm going with
Seahawks had a good pickup.
I'm going with the
Yeah.
Seahawks. I'm going with
John
Seahawks
Ross.
because the
Yeah,
Seahawks
you got
dominate the
some John
Cardinals.
Ross now. You got
Right.
some John Ross.
I'm
What
going
does
with the
that mean?
Seahawks. I'm going with
You
Seahawks because
embarrassing.
Seahawks. Look. The Seahawks dominate the Cardinals like they dominate you. And if they
Yeah.
continue to dominate you or you even split,
The
Seahawks dominate them.
Cardinals?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going
Seahawks. I'm going
going
Seahawks.
Oh, so sweeping is dominate? Is that what that is?
I'm
That's
going
what
Seahawks.
But these definitions right.
No, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure we're gonna have a vote. How many people we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 people. Let's see. I'm voting Seahawks.
Seahawks.
That's 2.
Seahawks.
That's 3.
I guess
Hawks.
the Seahawks.
I guess
get
the
it.
Hawks.
You know, last year you said they would get it too.
I don't know. We should be listening to
I
Tiger.
picked Trey.
Tiger said he was gonna make the playoffs past season 2.
I'm gonna go with the Cards. Man. I think the Cards are gonna pick up their game. This even though Trent's mentioned he doesn't have Johnson, he doesn't have Julio Jones. The man finds a way to win. So I'm gonna go with the Cards.
Tillman said 49ers.
My team has not changed
don't matter.
at all. I don't lose anybody.
We just voted. If 4 people said the Hawks, the other 2 can say whatever they want. 4 people
Don't matter. Yeah, you're right. The Hawks.
Okay.
The Hawks got the vote.
Okay, so AFC North, we had the Browns and Ravens, the Steelers and Bengals. So assuming it's the Browns and Ravens, who got the Browns is continuing?
Yeah.
Browns.
I've had that division since 2015.
That don't. So nothing changes. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think it's changing.
Wakanda man. All right. South, we have the Jags and the Titans.
Jags.
I'm going with Jags. But
They were the number 1 seed. Come on, man. Let's move past this. That's something.
That means they're gonna have number one seed schedule.
Lose right now.
All right. Who won the division last season offhandedly?
Titans.
Titans?
Yeah, Titans got it last season.
So Titans won it and had number 1 schedule, and then they dropped 4 games, and now Jags have number 1 schedule. Y'all don't think they'll drop? Okay.
They got
I'm gonna
Julio
tell you-
Jones. Julio Jones.
I'm gonna tell you the Jags have been in the playoffs every season since I've been an owner. That's all I want to say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
We know.
Hey, and the fellas that's watching right now, I'm looking at your comments. Please put your comments down. Who you think will win? I'll shout it out. Brandon said the Seahawks will win that division, and like
Thank you, Brandon.
Tillman said the 49ers.
So look, we got the right now is based on what our panel said. Our panel doesn't know everything, so our panel said Jets, Chargers, Browns, Jags, Eagles, Hawks, Bears, and Falcons.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look, if
I'm going
it's either going to be accurate or it's going to be motivation.
Yeah.
Either way, it's good conversation.
Right.
True.
As far as the wild card spots, I'm going Ravens and Titans in the AFC, and I'm going 49ers and Cards in the NFC.
I need that bye, son.
Well, you got to go through the Cards and the Hawks, man. And the Rams, excuse me.
And the Rams, yeah.
Like I said, it's either going to be accurate or going to be motivation.
Shit, Harrington Trophy's called a Stacy Trophy. That's motivation enough.
Mm-hmm. That's true. All right, who's one
Which,
more
by the way,
quick vote. One more quick vote.
Which, by the way, the trophy's finished. He said he's mailing it off later this week.
He apparently he mailed it to Reggie. I heard, but so one more quick vote.
Oh, you know what? He should mail it to Isaiah and make Isaiah take the trophy.
Make him hand deliver it.
Wow.
That's a great photo. That's a great photo right there.
I
don't like that.
I don't like it.
You don't like what?
I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
No,
I said Tillman.
He heard it. He said he don't like the sound of it.
No, I didn't hear it.
I said Tillman should mail it to Isaiah and make him take it to you. Just like the monkey with Simba, just hand it to you like that.
All right. So 2 questions. Who do we think the biggest surprise, the biggest disappointment next season going to be?
Hey, the Colts or
the Jets.
The Jets will be the biggest surprise for sure.
I think the Jets are getting a little overrating from, because he's newer. He played a tough game. I don't know that that's going to be the case, man.
Do you think the Jets going to be biggest surprise? Who's going to be biggest disappointment?
Aren't the Jets playing like a last place schedule too?
Yeah. I mean, they only had 3. I mean, he got all 3. He won 3 out of the last 4 when he joined.
At 3-13, they're playing last place schedule. they should be in good. If they know how to play at all,
Yeah.
they should be in a good position. They should be the biggest turnaround.
I will guarantee, and I don't guarantee, and I'm not the owner, but I'm gonna guarantee he's gonna win the division.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I give you that.
Maybe if he
And
breaks
I
both
think
thumbs, he might not win it.
But I'm
He's gonna be
confident.
8-8.
I'm confident he'll win. He'll win 10+ games.
I'm giving
I'll
him
put that
8
out
now.
there.
All
He'll
right.
be 8-8 with a division championship.
He could be.
Yeah.
But
All right. So, and biggest disappointment. I mean, last season had to be the Titans, I would think, right? So, who's the biggest disappointment this season?
Up and coming season?
Yeah, up and coming.
The Panthers will only win 6 games this year.
Wow.
Because historically, that's correct. That's what he's saying.
You an asshole for real.
Well, man, look. I may be an asshole, but here's the thing about it. I got a trophy that says so.
I'm about to go out. I'm about to go out on a big. I'm about to go out on a big limb. Biggest disappointment will be the 49ers.
Oh yeah.
I can see them winning 12 games and somehow losing tiebreakers and not making the playoffs.
You just had me as a wild card team.
I know.
Right.
I said that's the potential. It's a hot take.
Oh,
I think you'll get in. But I think that's
a potential.
I think that's the biggest opportunity for disappointment is that you'll still have a great season, beat a lot of good teams, but end up with 12 wins and miss out on a tiebreaker.
Mm.
Well, 12 wins
Oh,
potentially
wait,
get you a wild card. So
It
They got
should,
last
but
season.
I'm saying, but that's just right. You know,
Steal a spot and get back in the
things.
playoffs then.
you know.
Two things. Dolphins saying he's going to win in double digits this season.
Oh.
Hilarious.
wow.
Dude, I bet $50 on that, you know.
If it's
And
enough
then,
AP owners in the league, man, you never
Right.
know.
No, he said 11-5. One 11-5 team did not make the playoffs. So if you say everything else holds true, but the teams changed, you're talking that the Niners would have to lose 5 games probably not to make the playoffs.
That ain't gonna happen. But then also Tillman took back his vote. He's going Seahawks.
Man,
something in the last 10 minutes had him thinking, damn, the Niners look shoot.
I don't like the way Tony's head
The Niners
is.
look shook.
I'm going Seahawks.
maybe the difference was just get that Ross going to the Seahawks. Maybe that was the difference. You know? I mean, you're talking about a guy who won a playoff game with a punter. Okay.
That was classic.
Man.
Yeah.
To be determined.
So yeah, look, I think that's the best thing about these hypothetical situations. You know, the only assurance is that we know the Browns are going to win next season. So like, they in Wakanda on vacation. They should be in the lab. I saw them playing NBA live last night.
No, that was today.
He's going to be playing I don't know, Fortnite next.
Oh, that's my daughter. No, all right. So, all right. Before we get off, real quick, shout out to Bullet. I think I was on the headset last night with Tillman Tranks.
Right.
And he got me hooked on that.
Apex.
On what?
Apex.
No.
Mud
Draft.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So I've never done that, and I know like a couple years ago I think they had that, but I never really went through that whole MUT thing. But the MUT draft, man, that is fun. So
why? Someone please explain to me why it's fun.
Well, you just draft your team. You could get a new team every time.
It's like it's all the great parts about a fantasy draft, and then you can play with them on Madden. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
And you only draft them with against, like they'll put like a team of 4, and you got to pick one of the four guys. Or how many was it, Dill? How many players did you have to pick each draft?
20.
No, every round, how many players did you have to select from?
Oh, 3. I'm sorry.
3. Okay, so they put 3 up there. You select one of the 3. Then you go to the next round. They give you 3. So.
But isn't it like playing a Pro Bowl?
Similar. Yeah, similar. But you got like old school, like what's that? Night Train or something like that.
Night Train Lane.
Yeah. So all those kind of.
So it's not just the current players.
No.
Oh, okay.
Like there was one point when Isaiah was playing Matt Leone, and he had to choose between Deion Sanders and Ray Lewis.
Messed up.
So
Yeah, that's
and every
what I
round
saw
it's not
it.
gonna be like that.
I saw it last. I was
Oh.
on a chat last night with I think Tranks and Isaiah.
Mhm.
And he was just yelling out the names like, who should I get? I'm like, man, it's like a lot of great players.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
It
It's
looked
fun.
interesting.
Oh, okay. So maybe I need to try that. I thought it was just like the same player, like the All Pro Bowl. I'm like, why am I playing this?
No, and Bullock beat me our second time playing, and I was like, "Nah, I need a new team." So, so I got a whole new team.
Wait, you blame the team?
I blame the team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know it's not me.
So hey, ask Tony if he wants to change his pick again.
Well, also you need to pick a playbook too. So it's a lot of playbooks you don't normally play with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun.
You piqued my curiosity. I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go do shout out.
That ain't a shout actually. It's just Tillman asked me to ask Isaiah, what's his address?
I want to know what everyone thinks about this. Something I was thinking about. How do you feel about no custom playbooks?
Don't
Notice
like
what we currently have it where you can, put whatever plays you want in your playbook.
Didn't we do that one Madden where we didn't allow custom playbooks?
Yeah, one Madden.
I don't
that was
like
years ago, though. That was years
Yeah.
ago.
I don't like
What does
that.
everyone think?
I don't mind it.
I don't mind.
This was the first season I've used a custom playbook though ever.
Yeah, I like custom playbook.
So I mean, it was pretty cool,
Yeah.
but I've never done it before until this season.
Yeah, I don't like
custom playbook fits what I like to run.
Right.
I don't think it's hurting. I don't think it's hurting.
I'm not
me.
saying there's anything wrong. I have a custom playbook too, so I'm, I just want to know what you think about forcing people to just select one playbook, whatever existing playbook it is. It can be any one. It doesn't have to be the one your team runs.
No, I think at some point what's gonna happen is that everybody would look on, find out what's a highly rated playbook, and more than likely everybody be playing with the same playbooks, playing 4 or 5 playbooks because they're not equal. They're not equal.
Not me.
I think people
right.
will still pick plays.
Maybe not individual. I'm saying that there are playbooks that have more versatile plays that people like than other playbooks. To which case, if you're running a playbook and they had a coach that don't know how to do offense, your defensive-minded coach, they're going to have a shitty playbook, and they're not going to be as good as another team that has a high potent offense. If you're a high potent one to play, you're going to, and people are going to gravitate to the same playbooks as opposed to just making a playbook that works for them. I don't think you gain anything. It seems like
some other stuff. I think some other stuff we probably, and I say off screen, we could probably talk about some rules that I think we should implement. I think I'm gonna say one. I think, and I don't know if it's ever been a rule before, but mandatory you have to punt the ball if you haven't passed the 50-yard line. If you're on 4th down.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
No, but the only reason I say like realistic, like you have some real NFL, they're not going for it on 4th and 15.
Unless their name is Pete Carroll.
Well, I'll tell you.
That's
there were a couple teams, couple games in my season that I remember this year where I went for it and I was on my side of the 50. Now, where I was, I don't know, but I can remember a handful of times, like 3 to 4 times where I went for it. Now, that's 16 entire games.
Yeah, I just would say that rule probably is not a one size fit all. So
yeah, I don't like that rule, mainly because of the fact that you get a feel for a game. You're like, you know what? If you feel unlucky, you want to do it, and at the same time, if you don't get it, it's a huge benefit to the other person. The only person that hurts is you. By getting it, it just means the person has to play defense another 4th down. I mean, I don't think that you should stop people from doing that. I mean, some people call timeout hoping that maybe it was a whimsical thing and maybe you change your mind. But the end result is, I think that's up to you. If you want to go for it on your own 12-yard line, you're an idiot.
That actually happened. It happened in the Bears and Cardinals game where he hurried up, he wanted to go for it, and then the Bears used a timeout and he punted the ball. So
right, sometimes you see him, you catch it. Maybe a guy gets a weird Madden glitch. You're like, guy was wide open, you missed it or something, and people want to do it. And then it depends how observant you are. If the person wants to risk going for it on their own territory and almost give away free points, that's up to them. I think it'll come out in the wash. I don't think you get to force anyone in a certain direction.
Yeah. I think we can vet some rules offline though if we see anything that's
Yep.
I don't have anything else on the list that you mentioned, Dill. So
we're all good. Actually, it's time for me to get in. The mosquitoes are coming out.
Damn mosquitoes in Wakanda.
No. Good show, fellas.
Definitely good show.
Excellent, good show. Good luck. My phone's going off. Good luck to everybody. We got the draft on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Draft on Tuesday. We got another advance tonight. That's I got a light right there. Well, that's gonna bring mosquitoes.
Yep.
But we got draft advance tonight, the second round of free agency, and then the preseason. I know you're gonna put a schedule out about that. The preseason when it's gonna advance. Excellent job hosting Jan and Tranks, getting information out with the off season. And y'all, the way we rushed through season 3, let's do the same thing with season 4.
Yep.
Possible season 5 if everybody's interested still. Yeah. Oh, side note too. I let one of my guys from New York watch our podcast because I was just talking about podcasts and stuff like that. And he said he was on one. I was like, yeah, we also got one for Madden. So he checked ours out and he was like, it was kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, and also I don't know if you've seen that I put my interview on the
I saw that
YouTube thing. Stuff like that. If y'all want to, I could do stuff like that. Like Tiger, yours. I can't find yours because I think you put your video in a post.
Yeah.
So if you can't send me that, I would love to put that in here, man. Because that was hilarious. Your interview, man. I know Matt. I'm gonna get approval from him. You know, see if he wants me to put it on. But you know, it's all about FNG.
Right.
So it's not just about the podcast shows, other stuff we could implement. So yeah, that's it.
That works.
Good stuff.
Good show, gentlemen.
Hey, one other thing, if you don't plan on drafting on Tuesday, reach out to commissioners. Maybe we can advance some of these picks as well to get the draft going a little bit faster. So
we usually try to do round 1, but yeah, if you guys let us know in advance, we can definitely skip some of those picks in round 1, and we're not just sitting there waiting for the time to go down. So
it would be helpful.
Let us know. Yeah.
Yep.
Just check the draft order and let us know.
Yep. All right.
All right, fellas.
Take
it easy,
care.
gentlemen.